Hi, my name is Anda Krisdayanti. Today, I'd like to present my topic for the discussion. It's about child labor. So, what's wrong with the child labor? That's the question that's arise. But before we discuss about this question, there is a question that come across to my mind that I would like to ask to you. Have you ever imagined someone taking your children away from your house and pushing them to work somewhere instead of playing safely at your home? Can you imagine that? Furthermore, you know that this can lead them into the dangerous situation. They can use your children to beg on the street, or they can do the sexual harassment to your children, or the worst thing, that they become the part of the human trafficking. Can you imagine that? That's what we call child labor. For my opinion about this child labor, what's wrong with it? Of course, it is wrong. Uh, I stated myself that I against the child labor in whatever the condition. The children have to have their own right to be happy, to be free, to be educated, to be cared. About the data to support the argument. According to the International Labour Organization, we call that ILO, which is estimated that over the period of 2012 to 2016 period, there were 218 million working children globally, 152 million of whom were child. Of concern, there were 72 million of these children doing dangerous work for themselves and their future. This is according to the ILO 2017. The criteria for hazardous work are work that physically, sexually, and psychologically abuses children, work with dangerous equipment, substances, processes, and place, and works too long. So based on this data, the number of the children who's being labored are getting increased for each period, and they were places in such the condition which is dangerous for them. While according to the UNICEF, there are a number of the children in the child labor has risen to 160 million worldwide. There is an increase of 8.4 million children in the last 4 years, with 9 million additional children at the risk of becoming the child labor due to the impact of the COVID-19. The economic problem and the family poverty are become the two major reasons for children in low-income countries are in the labor force. However, child labor isn't confined to low-income countries only, so it is a problem in all countries. To some degree, more than half of the child laborers live in the middle-income countries. Our children today are the nation's leader in the future. So they must be properly cared for so that they can grow in a good life, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Childhood, childhood of them, their childhood should be filled with learning, playing, and getting to know new things without having to be burdened with responsibilities as adults. In fact, there are still many children who have conclusion. Child labor is harmful and dangerous for our kids and then for the children for the future. If we cannot stop them, perhaps we still can prevent them for become the child labor. Let's spread the awareness of preventing the child to become the child labor or to preventing the people who's going to use our children to be the child labor. The government maybe can help by giving or making the laws with the effective implementation, and then we can send our children to school so they don't have a time to do something else outside, or discouraging people to employ children in home